So it's almost impossible to put into accurate terms just how massive the Imperium of Man truly is. Now, it's said that it controls around 1,000,000 worlds, and the amount of human souls that owe their allegiance to the God Emperor in one form or another is seemingly uncountable. Now, amongst the quintillions of individuals, there exists a pretty exotic menagerie of different warrior cults, factions honed in the fires of war, each delivering a unique style of death and destruction. From the foot-slogging infantry of the Imperial Guard to the techno-magi cults of the Adeptus Mechanicus, from the fiery religious wrath of the Sisters of Battle to the sons of the Primarchs themselves, the Emperor's Angels, the Space Marines. Every faction within the Imperium has its own unique strengths and weaknesses, and each play an integral part in the protection of mankind from the forces of chaos and the limitless Xenos threats. But what if I was to tell you that there existed a faction that made them all look like children playing soldiers by comparison? One that seemingly had no weakness, that these dudes were warriors literally crafted by the hands of God himself. Now, what if I was to tell you that there existed a cast of literally perfect soldiers that excelled in just about everything, that they had no equal in combat and were masters of not just every form of warfare, but seemingly every academic pursuit as well, that they displayed unquestionable and unshakable loyalty, literally ingrained in them at the genetic level, and that each one was so perfect and powerful that their value could only be measured in entire worlds. And what if I was to tell you that this godlike army of anime main characters actually spent thousands of years sitting on their hands pretty much doing nothing? Now, what if I was to tell you that the greatest army mankind had ever seen, who had the best warriors and the best equipment, spent all of their time guarding a corpse? And for all of their multitudes, the greatest warriors that mankind had ever seen had failed in their single mission. The royal guard of God had allowed him to be mortally wounded, and that this failure brought upon them a shame so deep that we can't even begin to comprehend it. So great was their loss that they spent thousands of years mourning, and they sat idly by their father's corpse, guarding him even in his deathless state. Thousands of years have passed since the day the Emperor was placed on the Golden Throne, and here in the 41st millennium, his 10,000 are needed once again, and they've taken to the stars to bring about a reckoning like never before seen. In war and fire would their rage be absolved, and the sins of their failure washed away in the blood of heretics. Let's talk about the Adeptus Custodes.